Welcome back. All right, so some more news for you fine people on the internet for your Wednesday. A couple of trades to talk about. So we'll start off with the trade that got things started today. Now, I would have had a video up a while ago, but I was watching Canada and Belgium. I've been reporting on the World Cup of soccer slash football on the Entertainment Guy channel. So just throwing that out there. Ryan Reaves is now a member of the Minnesota Wild. He was picked up from the New York Rangers in exchange for a 2025 fifth round draft pick. So that's a couple years past this draft, and it's not a big asset for the Minnesota Wild to lose. This, of course, adds toughness to that bottom six. I guess they decided that's what they were missing, and so we'll see how things go for Minnesota, right? Reaves, decent on the fourth line, played his way out of New York, but we'll see how things go in Minnesota. Connor Timmins has been picked up by the Toronto Maple Leafs. 24 years of age, had played 2 games for the Coyotes. He'd also played for the Roadrunners this year, too, in the AHL. And so we'll see how things go for him in Toronto. They need depth on the blue line. In exchange, Arizona gets back forward Curtis Douglas. He is 6'9", worthy of note. Big player. I remember seeing him in preseason games. He's huge. 13 games for the Marlies this year, just the 1 assist to go with 30 penalty minutes. So yeah, you're getting a tough player. We'll see whether or not Douglas develops with Arizona. He was originally a draft pick of the Dallas Stars. Didn't sign there, ends up with the Marlies. And so here we are. The Toronto Maple Leafs have traded him to the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for Timmins. And we'll see how quickly Timmins draws into their lineup. I don't think it's going to take long because there are a lot of injuries on that blue line, just a ton, right? So Sandin Liljegren will get a better chance to play. But we'll see when Timmins draws in and what happens. All right. Also, the saga of Magnus Hellberg is not done. He was claimed on waivers by the Detroit Red Wings from the Seattle Kraken. So again, we have not seen those wonderful Seattle Kraken pads in action. I don't think we ever will. It is a great sadness to me, but Hellberg is now off to Detroit. So he's been claimed on waivers 3 times so far this year. I always feel bad for players that go through this, and I know they make good money, but still, you're changing addresses how many times during a season, and you're not getting to play either. So you're not playing, and you're being moved from team to team to team to team, and it's hard to get into any kind of rhythm that way. So hopefully for Hellberg, the traveling is over, or Seattle takes him back the next time he goes on waivers. We'll see. Shane Wright. So it's been the topic of conversation quite a bit about Shane Wright. What are they doing? What are they doing? Well, last night we saw what they're doing and why, in that he scored his first pro goal, and it was a beautiful one for those Roadrunners, or not for the Roadrunners, for Coachella Valley Firebirds. Be great. Playing for the Arizona farm team. Why? No, he's playing for Seattle's farm team in Coachella Valley, the Firebirds, and he scored in his AHL debut, and it was, again, a nice goal. He has been struggling to get a hold of the puck at the NHL level. I was reading an article. He's had the puck for, I think, 40 seconds of his NHL career thus far. So the AHL is a better spot for him. I'm not arguing that. But they can only keep him down there for 2 weeks, and then he's got to come back up, right? So because of the CBA being as it is, the agreement with the CHL, there we are. Seattle has activated Alexiak off the IR, so that's some more defensive depth for them. I'm sure that Toronto may call them, too. We'll see what ends up happening with Seattle from here. They're in an interesting position. They have decent depth overall with their roster, as is shown by Hellberg being claimed twice on waivers. But for the Seattle Kraken, are they going to be a team that's willing to move assets at the deadline for futures? Is that where we're going to end up? It'll be interesting to see. Also, speaking of players with injuries and coming off the IR, as Alexiak has come off the IR, the Chicago Blackhawks have taken Seth Jones off the IR, so he could very well be in their lineup tonight. Be curious to see if he, in fact, is. Very busy night in the NHL, so I guarantee there's going to be stuff that gets missed. It's going to happen. There's no way it doesn't happen. But for Seth Jones being back, that absolutely helps their blue line. He is the offensive defenseman for them. They don't have a lot outside of that, so with Jones back, that should help add another dynamic to their blue line for both the power play as well as just 5-on-5. He can drive some offense. Washington might be getting healthier in that Oshie is considered a game-time decision for today. Orlov, not quite ready. He's close. He's close enough that he's been on the board twice now, but he's not quite ready. He will not be in the lineup for tonight's game. So the Capitals, who absolutely, as I mentioned in the video I did this morning, they've had a lot of injury problems. That's been a huge part of the problem for them. So for the Capitals, if they can get Oshie back, that absolutely helps them up front. Of course, the big ones to keep an eye on would be your Tom Wilson, Nick Backstrom, and see what's going on with them. But at this point, getting the two guys with the last name starting with O, Oshie and Orlov, getting them back would be great too. Nick Ehlers, we now know a time frame. It looks like it's going to be approximately 6 weeks he's out after having sports hernia surgery. So, Ehlers being out for 6 weeks, the good news is the Jets are playing well. Their record is pretty good, and hopefully they can keep that together, right? It is always fun to see a Canadian team doing well and, potentially making the playoffs, and who knows what happens when you get there. And in Winnipeg's case, they have a pretty good goaltender who could help with that as well. So, we'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.